don't you just try talking to them? Like civilized folk, you mean? That man rubs his chin. These native fucks don't understand civilized. It'd be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now if you can't get it in anyways. No, I will give up eventually, or get drunk, leave the button unguarded. No, they will. They will give up eventually, or get drunk, leave the button unguarded. Then we charge. The man rubs his jaw. I don't really give a shit about who these strikebreakers are, but honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toy for corporate interest. The man runs a hand through his steadily graying military haircut. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly. In time of crisis, if union fucks don't want work, they ought to let those who do want work. I have a question. The lieutenant looks at me. Why do all these men follow your leadership? You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No, they follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were... He starts bellowing, given a job to do. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from. Okay, I gotta ask, where exactly are you from? What's it to you? Deep-set suspicion drips from every syllable. It's routine. This is part of the investigation. Am I a suspect? His eyes narrow. Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of people. Is that so? Alright, I got that. I'm interested in your background. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs. Heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. A bouncer? Wait, sweet. I know bars. Been thrown out of several. Maybe that's why you seem familiar. Working at Territorial. Ring a bell? Yeah, I think I've been there. It's a long time ago. The man was quickly losing interest in talking with you. Oh. Well. What do I do now? I kind of don't want to mess with that guy up there, so let's go do something else. I don't know what. Something. We never did talk to the little girl, did we? That was outside the bookstore or whatever. Mail collection box. Good mail delivery box. Pat the box. Yeah, when we did the fuck you mailbox thing, it actually hurt my health. The mail collection box has no faith in your psychopathic manipulations. Oh.
Hello again, sir. Are you interested in a new and exciting book this time?
I don't know. Like a lot of the dialogue and stuff is just feels weird to me, off in whatever way they've colored it, but what kind of store is this anyways?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
La-di-da. Whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. Oh, that was an encyclopedia fail. What is a book?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
What's a postcard?
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
That sounds terrible. She is unfazed by your questions. She would consider it impolite to point out any perceived weirdness. What's a board game?
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
Interesting, thanks.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
Yeah, is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is your name? My name is Annette, sir. My mom, like, they only voiced a little bit of the game, which is awkward for me. My name is Annette Sub. My mom, her name is Placence. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organizing the stock. Girl gazes out the window, then suddenly jolts her eyes wide as if recalling something. Feel free to step in and browse all her wares. And you're standing out here in the cold because... I'm signaling that the store is open. She nods eagerly, otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the book on the counter. She covers her face, smiling, but she's cold. I like that. Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. Pat her on the head. I could help by brutally dismantling the free market. You look cold. Can I help you in some way? Would you like to warm up in the trunk of my car? Kind of you, officer. Sir, she doesn't know what else to say. Empathy. What could you do to help her anyways? I should have a word with the store owner. Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mom. By luring in customers, she stands upright and smells just like a little soldier. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm. Oh, I can see that. Shouldn't you be at school or something? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mom keep this place running. School's stupid. You're lucky not to be there. Mom says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mom says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. How's the business going? Mom says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being... She looks over her shoulder. Cursed. I could be a ghostbuster. Who you gonna call? Curses. Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders. Cursed in what way? Cursed in a way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, that they all go. She's looking for the right word. Ass up. She blushes. I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. Narrow your eyes and look through the creaking boards on the window. We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here. The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. Yes, she chirps. Please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir. How does... Stroke your chin. Enough about the curse for now? No, I want to know more about the curse. How does this curse manifest itself? Hey, you gotta learn somehow. It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather. But Kim, the plasmic manifestations. No such thing. The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and serious. The girl looks back and forth between the two. Anything else you want to talk about, sir? What do you know about the other failed businesses? Nothing, sir. Nothing really, sir. Mom doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or cellars. She looks a bit disappointed. I don't really know what's there. Enough about the curse for now. What is this crime business? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or something like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective is trying to solve a crime and catch criminals. Okay, I get it. Crime murder gets the people going. She tots, and it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are gonna catch him. I'm a policeman myself, by the way. The law, as I said. You don't look much like a policeman, she examines as if to find something policeman-like. Huh? Well, what does a cop look like then? Or, okay, then maybe I'm not a policeman, or should stop being one. I'd go with, well, what does a cop look like then? Oh. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimacing over the body of a dead woman. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy. Then I decided to live a little. What's that mean? Cut loose, raise hell, blow off steam, and everything's better now, sir? I don't know. Why is that? Look at me, a hideous beast, a failure of a cop, a disgrace. I bet you that would hurt my morale. You'll understand when you're older. Oh, okay, she blinks at you, not knowing how to reply. I shouldn't have said that thing about Dick Mullen. Nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man. It's not your body that's important. I'll just go with that one, I don't know. She looks at Dick Mullen, frowning. Dark, arrogant, violent. Likely overcompensating for something. Yeah, wiener. He isn't even drawn right. Hey, our conceptualization found a discrepancy. He isn't even drawn right. This is not how human shoulders work. The perspective is all wrong. She examines the picture, trying to find whatever's wrong with it. She then shrugs and puts the book aside, unconvinced. That's just no way to cop. I could do it way better than Dick Mullen. Sure you can, sir, she smiles mischievously. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to deduce something now. Watch this. Hehe. Girl keeps her hands folded hidden. Why is that? Hey, why do you keep your hands folded? What do you mean, sir? She looks wary. She knows where this is going. She's probably hiding bruises or something. You don't need to be worried. I'm here to help. She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals. You heard me, hands up. Should I be stern and asshole-ish, or... We'll see what being nice does. It's okay. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh. You bite your nails. And you knew this from me keeping my... And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? She shoots you a suspicious glance. It's super simple for detectives such as myself. Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that. Her eyes flash with defiance. She's not impressed. She actually is impressed. This is more like a defense reflex. Want more? But I can figure out why you bite your nails. I got a few reasons in mind. She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic. You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you. Rats have been nibbling on your fingers. Child labor, dismal working conditions. Chewed on nails means you're recycling your body material. Yeah, so if your parents ever tell you to stop biting your nails, just let them know that you're just practicing like recycling, like good recycling habits. Mom, I'm doing my part to save the environment via recycling. It's an intense dedication to the way of business. There are no riches without personal sacrifice. That one sucks. We'll go with this first one. Yeah, that I don't know. I think it might only affect the choice itself, but who knows? Dismay flickers in her eyes. Maybe so, she sighs. Okay, I didn't know. It's a bad habit and I shouldn't. Either way, another ace deduction by the #1 detective in town. It was okay, sir. She still got a rebellious streak. There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same. You think so? Fine. Do better. Do something about me. You're quite sober, she snaps back quickly. The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort. Yeah, about that. Maybe you could point me towards some booze? Well, how do you know I'm not, usually not? Because you usually aren't. Yeah, about that. Maybe you could point me towards some booze. Frit. Maybe she shrugs, a compassionate look in her eyes. Alcohol is not good for you, sir. Them fighting words. There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar somehow. Oh. Suggestion. What are you missing here? Why does this feel familiar? I'm assuming we were here talking to her drunk at one point in the past. Hiya. Easy. Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before. Hang on, so you know me? We've met before? Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. She sways back and forth on her feet. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, telling people about being a star or something. I don't really understand who the stars are. Did I ever talk to you? Of course, you stopped by a few times. She looks at you intently. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. I doubt that. No, you don't have party eyes anymore. The lieutenant slowly, ever so slowly, realizes something. Party eyes. Yes, of course, that makes sense. I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on. He thinks not at all. Party eyes? You know, like a cat in the dark. All big and wide-eyed, she giggles at the thought. It certainly looks odd on a man. The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning, too. Fuck yeah, you should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Does this mean I've been partaking in narcotics? Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing. So why didn't you tell me you knew me to begin with? I didn't know I had to do that, she looks puzzled. I don't really like this detective deduction game anymore. Conclusion, or thinks I've learned something about myself. Well, we'll go with that. So, like, what is romance anyways? It's the type of books. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between a good man and a bad man. She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in the situation. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. I might have to educate her. What about... What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all? I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mom. Yeah? I think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. She pauses, trying to figure out the appropriate answer. No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination. Only it's really long and drawn out. Scarred for life. Phantom limb. No, I don't know. She looks at you with puzzlement. Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your Mom. Yeah, she nods, relieved. She knows books, definitely. What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain? What about a poor man getting a rich lady? It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. Ah, see. Those are unhappy books for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. What about when both of the men are bad? Those are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. What if it's written really well? Yeah, I'm getting just XP, just clicking shit. I mean, my throat's not happy about it, but my XP bar has, a different opinion. Well, maybe it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either because she doesn't need a bad man, yes, that would be interesting. What about when everyone is poor? That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Yeah, poor people are boring. I guess, yes, people in books are always very interesting, especially the romance people. That's enough romance for me. Who are these famous people? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. They're usually something extraordinary about them. She scratches her coal-reddened cheeks, then continues, I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them. That sounds logically, reading those doesn't make the reader more famous, does it? But it does make the famous people more famous. She smiles gleefully. Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. Why would they do that, sir? Because I'll be a superstar cop in the papers and everything. That'll show them. That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything, standing over a dead body holding a gun. Okay, bye. See ya. So that was a lot of composure. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Cool. So cool. Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography? Nowhere in particular? It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hardly. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in this sentence, they sound weird together. Nah, we're going with I've been working on my superstardom. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam rock by badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights. Action. Oh, I gained something. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you and you along with it in an iconic monochrome solution. Black silhouette against a rasterized orange world it's on. Let me take a look at this. I want some kind of superstar. -2 logic, what the fuck? I can't have -2 logic, that's gonna be a problem. What does it do though? You bring the rock and roll authenticity and passion to a line of work where people don't expect or want to see it. Where some would say it doesn't belong, law enforcement. What does it actually offer though? I'm not... Because I wonder... Problem, solution. Like, how do I know what... Because it shows a temporary research bonus. I'm assuming that goes away. But what is the solution? Because I don't want to lose -2 logic. That would cause me great problems with my investigation. Wow, you work hard. I do? Oh yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide. I guess I do, yeah. Oh yeah, like a horse. A workhorse for hard work. What hard work do I do exactly? Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. Ooh. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. This is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride. I fucking ride till I die, bitch. That's just what it's like. Life and death, but you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring it in the Frankong, whatever, in the Solus. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in, day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer. And then there's the pawning stuff off to the suspicious Roy guy. You can say I took some money off him. Yeah, I did. I took money from Mario. You didn't log that in as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider. Oh, and then there's the pawning stuff off to that suspicious guy. Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit and then pawn it off, law officer style. I guess I've made some gills short. Sure. And how's it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth, but you still hustle 24/7, ride it or die? Now ask yourself, are you rich? Not really, no. But yes, quite. Get out of here. You're a pauper. You work harder than anyone, almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? Fucking taxes, man. Fucking taxes. That's right, 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the customer state that is Reverend Call? I thought there were no taxes. You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation: sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, this tax that doesn't even have a name, plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gossamer State's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking... I can either opt in or opt out of what? 98% of all your money. No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now? Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth furiously on the tax issue. So I guess that's another one of these thingies, whatever they are. And it does it again. We should probably pick one of these and see what it does. Or maybe I could do it at the end of the day. Why doesn't it tell me what it does? That sucks. I swear that one did. Whatever, we'll worry about it later. I've got things to do. We gotta do some ghost busting, right? Alright, time to start clicking on shit. Oh no, actually, let's talk to this lady.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed. Curse? Who said that? Annette. She blinks. I will not have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy, good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir. Think she's a zombie? I think she's just a little overweight. That's not the same thing. What in God's name is she talking about? All the pressure has made Annette really anxious. You know, she's been chewing her nails. God, I told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. Her voice is firm. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life. A part of hers too, clearly. I don't think she can do anything about it. Bam. She can if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pain. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks. Come on, ma'am. It's obvious you can't do anything about it. You're placing an unnecessary burden on a young child. That is true, and obviously the will of the market, but maybe make an exception for your daughter? Or, yeah, actually, it's super alright for kids to chew their hands off. Forget I said anything. Nah, we'll go with this one. She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole. All of a sudden, she exhales sharply, her shoulders slump down. Oh no, she mutters. Hold on, I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. Well, aren't you? There, she returns with a nod. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what mothers call a dull mind. All this stress, she stops, but her mouth keeps moving. It sounds like both her husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette. You're like Annette to your husband and your mother. Oh, she nudges her glasses nervously. Well, my mother was horrible, of course, absolutely perverse energies around that person, but my husband, she shakes her head. My husband is completely different, of course. Is this husband Annette's father? Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here, she says gloomily. No matter, soon we'll be off for Grand Coran. Wait, Grand Coran, what's that? It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing project. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. Her smile is wide. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure. He made the initial investment since he's been what you might call a silent partner. Yeah, silent but deadly. Super silent. Almost inaudibly so. Is she an only child? Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... She pauses for a sec. No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy. Why not? We're quite busy people, you know. My husband and I. Quite busy. Her voice wavers a bit. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. She catches herself at an impoliteness. I'm sorry, I'm sure you do understand. She told me she doesn't go to school anymore. Placence nods. She's been too busy helping me here, so she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off. And hell freezes over? Never mind, it's not a good topic to get into. Alright, I had something else in mind. Farewell for now, book peddler. I guess that's all the dialogue we get. At you. Come on. I'm gonna create a save because I don't know if this will like screw my game up or something if I try and force these. I want to see what happens, but... Okay, you see tattered sided curtains. Let's examine the strange cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm. An irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straws. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. From the looks of it, this is a traditional Seminese ward meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. And who are the Seminese? Inhabitants of Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you. Well, I have a solution to this. Pull them open. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits. It's for customers. Or, it's off limits for the customers. Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, you're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. Sounds like an open invitation to me. Perception. She looks away mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? I'm gonna go with this one. This is about the curse. That's why you're afraid. No, it's just a storeroom for its employees. I told you now, please step away from the curtains. She's almost begging you. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I know, right? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. Oh, well, now we have to. Like, you can't tell me there's unleashing power potential here, and then I'm not going to mess with it. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. You do? She grabs her pendant again, visibly shaking. My God, even more reasons to not mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them. No, she raises her hand to try and stop you. Please, just talk to me, officer. Come here. Let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme. Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. Thank you, voices in my head. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. Rip them apart this time for real. Alright, let's go see if there's a new dialogue option or something with her before I go ripping curtains.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side. I already told you this is a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Oh yeah? Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books. If it's just a storage room, then why does it have a Seminese ward protecting it? It's just for decoration, she waves under your gaze, mouth pressed into tight lips, smiled, and something breaks. Okay, fine, just because this place is cursed, just like Annette said, they don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Take it easy. You've broken her resistance. Pushing her further will gain nothing. That's suggestion, huh? Why didn't you just tell me right away about that it's cursed? Not good to talk about the curse, not in detail the negativism. She shivers. It's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them. Wow, void wraiths. You have new words. Have you sought help from anyone? Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Seminese mediators. They provided me with the wards. She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtain. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough. Is your pendant part of the ward as well? Oh, this? She holds a pendant in a palm. It's ochre heart, glistens under the lights. No, it's a special Hemian amulet blessed by desert pygmy shaman with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. Clearly it doesn't work. There are numerous spells cast throughout the story. I had the books anointed with different inducement spell. With a different inducement spell, for example. She nods. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15% or your money back. Does she get the money back guarantee or no? Desert pygmy shaman. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people. How does this curse manifest itself? A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around in the dimly lit store. The curse is so much worse than you can imagine. It's a disease eating at the very foundation. Her voice drops to a whisper. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. She peers at the curtains again. Didn't that curtain just move? I don't know. The thing is blocking my view of it. Okay, I'm a little confused. What does that mean? Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy and their malicious spirits are still here. feeding off bad business practices, and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence as if it was unwanted here. Sounds familiar. Strange, I feel unwanted too. What does it mean? Truly so. Her eyes narrow as she tries to get a read on your energy. Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous. That can't be good for business. Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away, leave the spirits be so they can return to their slumber. My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective. Oh, but fuck, I have to convince her. Oh, wait, I can do that. Convince her to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. Hell yeah. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like. That is not a word in my vocabulary. Ma'am, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before. Are you sure? She looks skeptical. Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. I have returned from the void, a paradetective from a long line of paradetectives. You're no paradetective. You look nothing like one, and you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but you look like one. So do I, yeah. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead, rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes. I'll admit I've had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is parapsychologically taxing, or you see it's necessary to drink the spirit in order to contact the void. We'll go with this one. How do you know all this? Here we go. Your words brought me here in the first place. The Semini's blood also runs through me. Or, I am the Void Revenant. I have the powers to debad all the bad energies. We're going with the first one. You're part Seminese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. The hand of fate guides us. Totally. But I'm not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us keep us safe. I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us. No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me. Or just ask my partner, Kim. He'll vouch for me. No, there's no way he's going to vouch for me. Are you kidding me? I got this. I got this. And you're fat, but I got this. She shuffles nervously. If you promise, good officer, then she pauses. You might be our last hope. Do you swear it? A hand on your heart. On my honor. Or, actually, I'm not really feeling the vibe anymore. The psychic force has left. Nah. I got this. Thank you, sir. A timid sigh of relief followed by a cautious smile. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity. Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire. Do not act surprised. Of course, the entity. For I have sensed its presence. You have? She gasps. The entity takes the form of a woman. Oh, I should definitely do this then. The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch, probably. Have suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney? Chimney, the passage between heaven and hell, of course. Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. She's probably fapping. That's what I'd be doing. I gained key. Sweet. Some unnatural magic, I assume. She shivers. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked around. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there. unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. Alright. I'm on the case. J. Sing karaoke. That should still be top priority, but... Okay, so we're gonna search for this malignant entity. Saying says she lives inside a chimney. Find a way in. I am on it. As soon as I save my progress. Bam. Now, the question is, do I go through here, or is there a way through the back? I don't know. Either way, we're gonna find out. Close curtains. You see a set of tethered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains. Pull the curtains open. You pull the curtains open. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little summonese words, your shadow looming over it like an omen. A small, terrified "oh" escapes from Plaisance. I don't actually know how to read her name correctly, but I'm going to say Plaisance. Plaisance. Like complacent. As she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hand. Okay, so far so good. We're not dead. Would I be better off with interfacing or electrochemical? I don't know. I'm still thinking in terms of skills, because, like, we haven't really spent skills on stuff, and I don't know what I would. Because, like, I like the Inland Empire stuff, and I like the empathy, for sure. Logic has been good. Visual calculus seems alright. But maybe I should just not spend points unless I hit those moments where I need higher, and then I can just buy stuff. I don't really have a good solution or approach. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryer. Oh, look at the size of that big-ass head. Weird one was seeing a white-haired lady earlier that didn't exist. This one does. Vaguely androgynous something or other. Merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. A warded door, a heavy door with a missing handle, stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of summonese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Pain threshold. Break down the door. Well, I don't have to. I can just unlock it with the key. New skill point. Sweet. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room. Kim, maybe you should go first. Detective, you're the one in charge. The lieutenant motions toward the door. Open the door and enter. Like, I tried to throw him under the bus, but it didn't work. Ah, the great workout room. Sand is dripping from a punch bag. A shot put ball. Hey, it looks like it sells for a good bit. Hey, wait a minute. What is this? There's dialogue?
What is this place?
Lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. It's an adventure. No, it's a gym. He disagrees, though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on. Good idea. An eerie feeling rises on your chest. What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here. Sounds good. Alright, so let's go ahead and use the flashlight. And I'll keep the... Oh. Oh. Hey, look at that. Oh ho ho. Oh. Poser says, Satia's fortress, the rest is worn off. Worn out wall bars, they look unsafe. A barbell. That's a barbell? A barbell is on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. Physical instrument. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. Visual calculus says there are no collars on the barbells. This is a safety hazard. Island Empire. Why does it feel so familiar? Physical instrument, legendary, 14, lift the barbell. No. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell. You're right, the weights might fall off. Better not touch it then. Actually, I don't really care about safety hazards. What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come down here anymore. Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory. A memory from another life when you were young and fit. Like, I'm not even going to try lifting it because it doesn't, like, I don't know what purpose that could possibly serve. Like, it actually has a very slight horror vibe right now. That's kind of cool. Whoa. The flashlight mechanic, that's actually better than most horror games we play. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Hell yeah. Airship rotors covered in spiderwebs. They remind you of blades. Dude, feel this atmosphere. Holy crap. We should have done this, like, first. Wild animals stare at you in the dark. Stuffed and mounted. A large full of strange liquids. Hey, mannequins, hell yeah. And money, oh hell yeah. A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Oh yeah, they definitely are. And since it's not a horror game, usually horror moments tend to be that much more valuable. The time you'll spend with it. For now, we're just gonna loot it in the whole place. Production schedule, filament, memory. What the hell is it? Oh. Maybe it's something that's just to sell, or like steel rotor blades bearing a Slipstream logo. Skids with Slipstream printed on the lamented top layer. Conceptualization looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. I don't get it. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, then pivoted to producing the other one. But the question is, which did they start with and which did they pivot to? That's a good question. What a strange leap of imagination, and yet they still fail. How sad, or just speculation, we don't know anything for sure. Let's go with what a strange leap of imagination. Reality is ruthless. Yeah, because of these passives, I really should be spending some of these skill points. Maybe keep like 1 or 2 in reserve in case I need to use them. Conceptualization has been pretty useful, I think. At high levels, conceptualization makes you go big, perhaps too big. You'll be unable to contribute to conversations and visual calculus, logic. So I think this is our mental thing, and this is our health thing. Empathy's been oddly useful as well. I don't know what to get. I'm thinking... Let's do visual calculus, because why not? That's it. I legit don't know what the hell to get with the skills. Because I understand it, it's really difficult to mess up, but I have a bit of a paranoid, obsessive nature to that kind of stuff, so... Project Dreadboard. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. Inspect the drawings. These pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkin casting wax-based magic. Maybe they're just like World of Warcraft players or something. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even either welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. What the hell am I reading? Who are all these creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appear to be different, however. Examine the welkin. This is important. It's a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged. Gee, these monsters are racist. The Holder, the Dwarg, the humans, and even the Headless Man, all of them purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all. The lieutenant can't help but comment. An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Starting to feel my throat getting a little wet. Whisper, one of them is a welkin supremacist. Political commentary. That one has a great beard too. Kim nods at the welkin's facial hair. Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. What do you mean, just a game, and even if? Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the welkins. Let's just look at those details. So much effort. Sounds like he's more fascinated than we are. It's possible. Inspect the photos. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds abandoned in a storm, animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Yeah, I could get D&D as a reference because it also uses the dice rolls for the skill checks and things. So it's got some of the similar formula style based on dice rolls, as opposed to just normal number generation. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers by Boreal Dwell. Yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. So far, the encyclopedia one is my least favorite of the skills. Electrochemistry, albeit dark and cold division, also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much needed respite from our own world. Yeah, or like Baldur's Gate and all that kind of stuff. Or the early Fallouts. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily mini-me, and GPI span the marker, drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Mini-me stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called Run. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed. Keep reading. What happened? I have to know. Project Dreadboard. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region. Hey, XP. The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness and concludes, looks like they didn't make it. Fuck them. Inspect the note. The handwriting is only partially legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans. Call in to now, and heat death of the universe. Interesting. I too spend many nights sleepless, worrying about the heat death of the universe and how that's going to affect me. Couple 100 trillion years into the future. Hey, the audio's pretty good. It's a mainframe. That's a really small mainframe. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer. A radio computer, says the lieutenant, watching you circle around the machine, just sitting here without anyone in sight. He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. Interfacing. This is the Rhyme Civic radio computer model Rs blah blah blah, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a RAM-compatible printer. Do you think I should turn it on? We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it. Well, I consider myself an expert, so I'm going to turn it on. Machine lights up like some prehistoric animal. Machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. Okay, so there's a compartment, and then the 2 buttons. Let's look inside first. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left tangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Okay, insert the production schedule. Like a smooth drawer in the filament slides into place on the keyboard, the play starts blinking. Height. The bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall until a voice speaks out, crackling and old cutting into the air. Good evening, Fortress accident en route, blah blah, this is Easton, blah blah, repeater station 1. Please repeat this. Like, I don't get this. Is this supposed to be a communication device, or is it a fucking printer? Because it kind of feels like it's doing both. Please report, this is the production schedule. What's the production schedule? The filament you have inserted in the reader. You mean that glowing thing I put inside? Yes. Is that the production schedule? Yes. Good. Please repeat the password. Oh. Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved. You should ask her for a hint. Her. Who's her? The ghost or the lady operating the place? A password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? No. Is it my birthday? Still no. Is it the police? Please open this thing. voice recites, I am contractually obligated to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident without filing a warrant with Lintel. I cannot give you access to this filament. I'm afraid we're not doing that unless we want to wait for a month. Yeah, I got time. Now you can please repeat the password. The voice on the machine asks in. She sounds cold and in the damp air. I don't know the password. Received. We'll register this login attempt. Don't worry, passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later. Alright, why did you call me Fortress Accident? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you're currently using has been registered to. Do you have any other information about this company? One moment. You hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out with studious care. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says. That's not bad. Wow, so conceptual. She hums. And what's that? This interactive call on radio play. Static drowns her response. Any other questions? You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. What are you, a machine? Or are you alive? Yes, I'm alive. I'm 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. The lieutenant whispers in her ear. She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid. Hey, my background's in programming. And actually, yeah. Yvonne, my partner tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid. They're merely cautious, says the old lady. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East wherever station. Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am? I work as a repeater at the it's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, some static then. I'm sitting in my cubicle surrounded by a wall of radios. That's kind of cool. Doesn't it get lonely sitting there all by herself? Shut up, empathy. Okay. Doesn't it get lonely doing this job? Lonely? For the first time you hear her chuckle through the rustle of static. Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day. That's why she does it. Now please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident. That's it for now until I have a password. Thank you, goodbye, blah blah blah. Press play. Speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old. Good evening, Fortress Accident. Oh! Okay, so if I hit play that... Okay. Let's press print. Nothing happens. Well, fuck you too then. Let's make a quick save just because it feels like it's been a while. Yeah. Or like one of the networking jokes is a layer 1 switch, which is like those old operators that had like the wall of fucking things and they would manually switch. Like that's layer 1. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red markers, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on an alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgetting being. The symbols seem very esoteric. Yeah, in this household, we only do non-Euclidean-based geometry. The whole thing resembles Kedron mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. Indeed. Hold on, how do I know what these Kedron mosaic tiles are supposed to look like? History class. Students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarella blue tiles look beautiful in the sun. I'm sure they don't. What am I looking at? Radio frequencies, it seems, blah blah blah. Some written notes, too sparse and cryptic. Radio frequencies for what? Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries, very advanced. course, near your eyes, the anatomy of the curse. Now, so we're dealing with something medical here. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. All lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. My note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. Is that like a play off of bandwidth? Or throughput? Wait, who's the Game Master? Someone very important. Is it me? The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. If it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this gone left unrealized. Well, I mean, we're here. We're realizing it. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off. Insert conspiracy theory here. My God, the lieutenant leans closer, his finger tracking the maddening rhizome. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Yeah, it feels like they're taking some jabs here. I like that. The cost of air width alone must have been huge. What about the voice actors? Exactly, he nods at the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean against his jacket. This schedule, I know this. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding. What else, squinting at the lines? Nothing. It's just lines on marble, an echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. Alright, what else we got? Scribbled across the notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Well, clearly they're not talking about this game.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with someone tried to exorcise the curse using technology. No, that's not it. I think the lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands like he's ready to lay out a fine theory crafted together like a puzzle box. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. Radio Dungeons and Dragons. Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment. How were they planning to do that? Through call-in stations. He nods at the fireplace. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game as long as they have a two-way radio and an active internet connection provider. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts. So it kind of makes sense. This would be where the DM or the GM operated from, and everybody else were lesser players. Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies. Has anyone done this before? Not to my knowledge. They make automated games and blah blah blah, you know, places with industry. Not in Revacol West among the ruins. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an intersolary game before. We just don't have the technology. I mean, I'm looking at the technology. It's right there. They did it. Or they were doing it. And this was a role-playing game. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. He points to the chalkboard. Role-playing game. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the World board game. Growl. With heat death thrown in. Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished. What do you think happened to the company? No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. My guess is they started a Kickstarter. They made way too many push stretch goals and crumbled under the weight of their own mass. Wow. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but the lieutenant tilts his head thinking... The curse got them, I see no other explanation. Do we have any money? Let's give them more money so we can finish it and make it even bigger. Hell no, I'm not giving anyone money. I'm gonna go with they were insane if they thought they could do this. Yes, especially in here. Kim looks around in the derelict room. The pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor in front of your feet. Okay, he concludes. Let's keep moving. What? I had more I was gonna press. Whatever. I am low on more. We'll put more points into volition. Okay, so we came from there. I'll take everything. Hell yeah. Suddenly we got a big-ass bear. Is it a fridge? An ice bear fridge. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. Visual calculus. You better come in useful now because I put 2 points in you. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? That's it? What is that thing? It looks like a giant ice bear. The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door. Well, crack it open. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. It regulates. Huh. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. Relax, Kim, it's a fridge. Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the harsh light of the open fridge door. Just take a look inside. Look inside. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name Radical Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. Yeah, it would make sense. This could be like an ice cream store fridge display type thing. Take the note from the door. You pocket the note and little fridge magnets keep it on the door. Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. The lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in the light. They tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore. I know, says the lieutenant. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day. The lieutenant points to the red, snaky cable running from the fridge. The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. Hey, I don't have to pay it, so who gives a shit? Right. We'll go there, maybe last. Nah, okay, we'll go there now. The wall collapses, inaccessible now. Central furnace. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face. It's a face of agony. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace? Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside. No one has used it in ages. No sign of any recent fire. Only dead rats. Look inside. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness, you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other near the smoke chamber upstairs. What are you doing? The lieutenant asks when he sees you climb halfway inside the furnace. I'm hallucinating. Or maybe it's the entity. Wait, really? The lieutenant sounds concerned. Take your head out of the chimney, please. It's not safe. Oh, that's probably where the thing is, isn't it? Because if it's the furnace, then that might be... It's connected to the chimney. Uh-oh. Feels safe to know that the lieutenant's got your back now and always. Smear your hands with coal. A lush layer of coal now covers your skin. Sinking into the wrinkles, your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramad Karsai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint. Smear your cheeks black with coal. Why not? 3 dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks, telling stories of your wild soul. What are you doing? I'm the reincarnation of ancient warrior. Please wipe your face clean, officer. No, you're a proud warrior. Keep it. Don't. Oh, no. Should I put a point into authority just to improve my odds on this? I'm like, how much would my... Should I? I mean, I do have 4 points. Intimidate the public. Assert yourself. Fuck it. Well, oh, I can't. I don't have enough points available, but it says I have 4. Can I just not spend them right now? Oh. Wait, I don't have any points. That's just the total. Oh, no. I don't have any... Okay. Well, guess that makes this clear. Maybe we'll get... Nope. Okay. You can feel your cheeks turn red under the lieutenant's gaze. You look like a kid, not a police officer. Even the war paint can't conceal the embarrassment. Lame. Thank you, the lieutenant nods. So where are we? He turns back to the furnace. Those voices I heard, maybe it's the malignant entity. Playson said it lives in a chimney. You're right, the rooms do look like they're connected, but malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind. Always has to be the skeptic, this man. Just gonna yell hello. Hey, success. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then you hear a woman's voice answer. You've awakened the entity. Oh, good thing I succeed in that skill check. This is the police who's there. Bam.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There is a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of curtain being pulled aside. The lieutenant nods and points upstairs. After you, officer. I'm gonna kick it with my foot. Get wrecked, bit. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. Okay, that was not a good decision. What if it actually does something, though? Because I kicked a mailbox as well. An ice cream maker defrosted and unplugged. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Oh. Indeed there is, but I'm going this way. Actually, no, fuck it, I'm going this way first. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Hole in the wall. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. Let's shine the light on the compartment. There is, yes, and there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look? Oh, so either I can look or I can have him do it. I'll do it. Your hand reaches deep into the darkness and spiderweb is rummaging around. You find rusty rifles hidden away. Rifles, Kim. The lieutenant steps closer, curious. Are these any good? Inspect. Most of them are rusty and inoperable like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns. Hey, this one looks nice. Take it. Hey, we got a rifle. Bella Magra from the Revolution. The lieutenant notes with approval. His eyes are gleaming. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. Where are we? Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. He points up at the rifles under the ceiling. Must be an old weapon cache. What does this mean? A rifle here? It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future. He likes this find. Is that it, or? Yeah, I guess it does. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Let's make a save too while we're at it. Oh god. So bright. Yeah, I could probably sell it too, depending on how much it's worth. It doesn't sell for much. The shot put ball is worth more than a fucking rifle. Not really sure how that works, but a frozen ice cream maker that's still running. Oh, hey, there we go. Ooh, stuff. Breaker box. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Why would I unplug these? Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Insane mesh tank top adds +1 to jump. What do I have on this one? +1 to physical instrument. I'll take it. I'll use it. All I know is I'm the one that's not paying, so... Red one leads to the fridge. Black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr. Why did you do that? It's black. It's not like it's the red one. The lieutenant raises his brows but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing. Yeah, that's probably a good thing, right? Oh. That brought us back out here. We need to get to the second floor, so I think we have to backtrack through the thing. What happens to this now? Nothing. Okay. Now, Necroxix, you might say, is it a good idea to be running around with 1 health and morale left and not healing? To that I say, yeah. So I think somewhere up here she may have opened things up for us. I don't know if there's anything here. I want to take a look. No, there is not. Okay. I don't really know where I'm going. That's the way back to the bookstore. She told me to go to the second floor. How do I get to the second floor? Oh, look what I found. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Does someone live here? Can I take them? Postcard, La Delta 51. Why, hello. The tray is full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view of the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching. Hold on, what do you mean by Milius?
Yes, a milieu is like a calling station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She passed headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
I need a 700 million sided dice. Die. I use big numbers in my game. Role-playing games, you know, the one made by Fortress Accident, does that count? Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set.
What?
Unless you want something really unusual.
No, I'm not paying, hell no.
Take a look around and see if there is any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals. It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. This person means you or no one else absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need. How did you become a dice maker? How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Yeah, the jewelry seemed too competitive. You gotta specialize. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Do you like role-playing games yourself? Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay, and role players as customers, they're nice people. They can get a little raunchy, though. Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. That is true. The classic whale. She's thankful for the security they provide her. Okay, I'd like to order it. Oh, wait. Of course she knows. This is what she's here for. Tell me what you had in mind. Do you have any cursed dice? What do you mean cursed? As cursed as this commercial area. Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real and I'll give you your cursed die. Hell no. Hell no. I'm not paying you shit. Yeah, I'm gonna say I need more time to think. What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling rags? Nothing really, I don't know him. Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook and the woman under the large window. Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening? I'm sorry, Detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my windows. What do you mean by daily ruckus? Well, there's always something going on in the whirling backyard. She stops to try and come up with an example. During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire. She looks up at the window. Pale light comes in, but I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window. I might have, she admits, but in this case, all I could have seen would have been my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's light here, but dark in the yard at night. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. Do you often work Sunday? It's an odd profession. Making dice for people, but I like it and I prefer doing this to sitting at home. Hey, what's up, God? Necro's voice is getting destroyed at the moment. I'm doing alright, though. See, thank you for your answer. Hey, where are we anyways? What is this place? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there. But when I arrived here, all other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus. See the one that had all that shit plugged in downstairs? Placence was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse. Creative. The lieutenant looks around in the spacious room, its ceiling fading into shadows above. I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area? I've heard the story, she nods, as wind howls in from the furnace shaft above, but I don't think those stories are true. Wait, how do you explain what happened to all those companies? It's just capitalism, she shrugs. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Placence is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies. Placence, the bookshop lady? She raises her eyebrow. I've heard that the business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow? Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. Alright, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. No, the world isn't doing well either. The waitresses took off and customers have trouble paying bills. We're the customer having trouble paying our bill. It's us. And then there's me, she sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving flies to wire cutters. I've been here 14 years selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million real business idea, yet somehow I survive despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it? Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse. Maybe it's because she's squatting and somebody else is paying the damn bills. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I think it's because you're the source. Plaisance thinks it's because you're the source of it. A malignant entity. Malignant entity? What does that even mean? The dice maker laugh some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm a malignant entity? Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest. I'm going with, I think this still might be you that's causing this. Narrow your eyes very mysteriously. Saw the grand dragon in the cave. She seems mildly entertained by this suggestion. When I ask what supports this claim, I yelled to summon the ghost of the doomed commercial area, and you were the one who answered. I'm going with that. Oh my, she says in mock despair. I've revealed myself. You better call the exorcist. I don't have to call anyone. I'm a ghost whisperer myself. It's not my job to intervene in matters supernatural, for I am merely a police officer. No, I'm going with ghost whisperer. We're totally Ghostbusters. Of course, she pinches the root of her nose. How convenient. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know. She turns back to her work. That's all she has to say on the subject. She has been thorough and truthful as far as we can see. Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you'll make sense of this situation. Oh, that sucks. Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone. More or less, she adjusts the yellow scarf that covers her hair. Are you interested in anyone specific? Oh, what fuck? Oh, she might know the password. On the strange machine. Accident. The radio game studio. She closes her eyes as some remnants of a memory lights up her face. Come on, give me the password. She liked them. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Whirl. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules. What do you mean liberal? What happened? Yeah, but the thing is they're working with computer systems. So why would you need dice when you can, just write some code to randomly generate numbers for you in any possible configuration you can think of, and then some. And then if you get a quantum computer, you can use quantum computing, randomization, and stuff. I don't know, I'm just making that up. The usual, they ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. What went wrong? Well, I did hear them talking at times. She looks at the hallway as if she can hear them chit-chat behind a curtains on a cigarette break. They seem to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. So they were delusional. Just like us. She sounds almost mocking when she says that. From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive. Really, they must have been on a giant ego trip. We'll just pretend it's impressive. Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. Yeah, fair enough, Weirdwin. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time. It might be, too, that the computer was just used as a communication system only, and it was like the game master was the one that was physically rolling dice and things of that nature. Then there wouldn't be a lot of demand for dice, would there? Maybe that's why they failed. She's right. Showing up to work on time is important. Well, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. That's too bad. I would have supported them. Yeah, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. That's so true. And so is producing something extraordinary. Her eyes wander to the shelves full of die prototypes and discarded models. Something strains her face before she looks up again. Oh, God. Anything else? Can I get the password? You little cunt. I found creepy mannequins. There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activists came. Oh God, there's insect right activism. Insect right activists, what in the name of... The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made from the occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which, of course, caused the prices to skyrocket. And naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. But insects don't have any brains or feelings. Actually, insects do have brains, he corrects you. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think protesters took it a little too far. As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up, they're not moving. Anything else? Found the building's intercom, but it's not working. Oh, right, she rubs her forehead. Her scarf has left a faint light on her dusky skin. I hope he didn't try to ring me. I think none of the doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion. So you're telling me that you have a doorbell there? The one with an empty name card, it's the last one in the list. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work. Yet. I have a few more questions. Well, I still have a voice. There used to be a hair salon here, right? Yeah, I think it's called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. Yeah, you could do like that shampoo mohawk. That's a good gender neutral style. I would never let anyone androgynous touch my hair, not even if my life depended on it. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded. I guess it just wasn't the time yet. She tucks a strand of hair under her headscarf. What happened to the gym? It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youths away from drugs and crime. And who was Artemitep? A kind man from somewhere. I heard that he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back. Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club. What Kuno needs is a swift kick to the ass. Kuno, her eyes narrow in the dim light. Who's Kuno? He's sort of the king around here. Really, insect activism is real. Well, it doesn't surprise me, but... like, Necroxix is gonna go pissing off all the insect activists. They're gonna, like, come fucking knocking on my door with pitchforks and shit. Like, fuck, I don't like your spiders. Stay away from... The little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies. Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. She looks out of the window, her face reflecting back in the dock. I think it will take more than a gym to help that kid. Agreed. How did that community project work out? It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinique even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines. Nah, that can't be true, otherwise somebody would have stolen it right away. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that. Eventually, the coalition took the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. What's up with the broken windows, dude? Oh, this one's a mess, she sighs. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieux. Who would have guessed? What is that? Like snuff foods? What's a snuff milieu? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Cool, very cool about the debris, but what about a snuff milieu? It's a sub rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it. Audio only, though? Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay for the world. Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-rosas, and the lieutenant turns to you. This isn't our problem. Fortunately not. Huh. So, prawns, lobsters, and such don't have any rights. Did somebody here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else? What's with the rotor blades and skis? They were made by a company called Slipstream after they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis. Their chief executive took off on vacation with all their money. She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Cholula or wherever he is. Interesting. What do these transmissions say? The usual. I imagine that he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns. Her smile widens before you see the lieutenant's face behind you. Men like that are a curse. The man is stern. Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea whose skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess. They were just props, so I returned to them. Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long. How long could it take? There was a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar. Oh boy, the fabled Rockall Ice City. You're in for a treat here, she smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now, ask me about their other ideas. Indeed, what was the other ideas? I don't care about their ideas. Yeah. Alright, what about the other ideas? I'll bite. Oh. Well, my voice can handle it. There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. Hey, that sounds pretty good. What do you mean by booth? We're talking glory holes here? And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing. Oh, she leans back disapproving. Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Frit does the same thing. I know a girl just like that. She works in Frit as a cashier. Not particularly friendly. 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. That's an award-winning idea. How else do you choose people around you? Perfect. Yes, some people spend their whole lives chasing the hot one. She makes quotation marks with her fingers. You should have joined the gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the stand ready to scare off customers and hit on the girls. As if they didn't already have the bear. She closed her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear? The bear, she repeats, pressing thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache. Didn't work out? Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. Make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. What do you mean nobody wants ice cream guarded by a apex predator? I do. I'm sure you guys do too. Eventually, Revacol, a city, lost a price war to its rivals. Blah blah blah. So Glace 500 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents apiece, out of regular fridges. I'm sure the bear was doing its best. That bear is a trooper. Maybe because the taxidermist who made the bear definitely wasn't doing his best. I mean, how come? He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. High on desiccants? He called it Megatherian. High on desiccants. Sounds cool. Megatherian. Megatherian, nods the dice maker. A mega wild beast. Very cool, but I don't want to hear it about the bear anymore. What's a mega wild beast? It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life. That sounds terrible. Like telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Okay, that sounds better. I mean, terrible, but better terrible. The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited, but it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around. I don't have a comment on drugs. Understandable. You shouldn't do them, nods the dice maker. You're a police officer after all. That I am. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. She seems almost sad, finishing the story. Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time. I have one more question about the intercom. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure, what do you want to know? Oh. Wait, there's still something in here that... Oh. Whatever. Yeah, that shivers thing, that's not happening. So, wait, if I look at my journal... Return back to her to report my findings, but what about the password? We don't have access to that, and I want access to that. Is there anything else here? Nope. Okay. Hey, wait, this is nothing. There's nothing here, though. Okay. Let us return to what's-her-face. That Kim guy is getting... Where's the exit? Well, this is the... Like, we came in here. But not that way. Wasn't there a door over here or something? Was it? Surely. Unless... I'm just lost as fuck. This flashlight's not doing its job. Oh wait, I think I know. We gotta go this way. I really wanted that password though. Like, fuck if I know how to find it. Don't forget to click the orbs around your head, they have surprises.